since I was a little child, as long as I can remember, I probably was 4 or 3, I always wanted to create. I had in mind that one day there was something I could do that could fulfill me. You know, it's like it was not formed in my brain, you know, to think like that, but I always knew that there was something that has to do with creation that will fulfill me. So as a child, I was trying to do, you know, to put things together, to invent, to cut pieces of paper, to glue things, you know, and at school, unfortunately, they were not teaching us very much painting. In a matter of fact, every night at the end of the day, they would put a rubber stamp on our book, and we had to color it and bring it the next day. That was the only art I got the first year. After it got a little more evolved, but not that much. So I kept growing up, feeling that one day, when I grow up, I will be able to do it and to study it and to learn how to really paint, how to really express myself. Like always sensing that there was something inside of me that I wanted to manifest. You see? And children feel that. You feel that there is something unique inside, because there is in every one of us. And it's like, it's a question and the wondering, how am I going to bring it out? So for me, I waited until I grow up. I say, when I grow up, I will take some classes in school. They will tell me how to do that. You know, it's like, I thought you need to learn. I thought it's something that I need to, there was a technique, there was something. So as soon as I grew up, I was like 17-year-old, I was living in Paris, and I registered to my first art school, so I could finally learn. And I always remember the first time I went into the classroom, and they gave me a plaster, and there was a face on the plaster, and I was giving all the tool with, you know, like the tools that to measure, you know, the lines and compass and everything, so I could reproduce perfectly that thing. And I was really struggling to do it well, and the teacher came and corrected me and explained me what to do, and I was like in shock. I had waited 15 years, and all at once I was told to do this kind of work, and I said, what's going on here? You know, I was expecting some excitement, some, I don't know, some kind of stimulation, and I was just told how to do things. But I said, well, maybe I need to go through that phase, and then later on something else will be taught and will happen. But as I stay for a few weeks in the school, it just keep being more of the same. No excitement, no discovery. It was just working out, trying to reproduce something perfectly. So I changed school. I went, there's a few different art schools in Paris, so I went to different one. It was a little different, but it was the same kind of thing, anti-climax, you know? You come and you get so excited, like you're ready for your life to bloom, and then, you know, nothing happens. But I kept trying. I kept trying for a whole year, and by the second year I said, okay, maybe I should go in a school where they really teach graphic arts, so maybe that at least will have a use. So I went into that school, but there was still a class among all the curriculum where we were just painting. And I went through the same thing again. Nothing could just make me feel good. You know, I felt I was not using myself well. So finally I had a meeting with the art teacher, the one that was doing, you know, just art. And I had this long meeting with him. I remember we talked for 2 hours, and I kept telling him, but I want to express myself, but I want to feel something. And he kept saying, Michele, painting's not for you. If you're not happy with learning technique, with doing the technique, and it really discouraged me. And after I talked to him, I dropped out of that school, and I decided to do something else in my life. That's what he said. He said, do something else. It's very ironic, because I spent the 30 years of my life after that just painting intensely all the time. But I was told it was not for me. So I went and did other things, but then I had lost my dream. You see, like everybody has a dream, you know, when you're little. And I became sad and more sad, and then I said, I can't just live with that sadness. So I said, if I cannot paint myself, I will have other people paint, maybe. You know, maybe I'll be good at that if I can't make it in painting. So I find that I could be trained for children, to help children paint, you know. I thought I couldn't even probably do the adults, so I will do the children. I was trying to get whatever I could that will keep me among art a little bit, colors, you know, inventing. And I was fortunate enough to be told about a school that was called the Free Expression School in Paris for children, which means they were not taught how to do things. So when I came into that school, first it was a real shock immediately, because I stepped into the studio and I saw the children painting. There was like 15 children between 5 and 15-year-old painting. And they were already painting when I arrived. And I sensed in that room, when I opened the door, I saw the creative energy moving in the room. it's hard to talk about that because, you know, the energy doesn't have really something material you can really see, but I saw it. And I saw, it was like a revelation. I said, this is what I've been looking for my whole life. It's in that room, in the energy. It was not like in the, I'm saying in the painting. And then I say, this is what I want. So I ask to be able to be with the children and paint with the children. Since I couldn't paint with the adult. So I was accepted. So immediately I started painting, and it was like a volcano coming out because I could paint. I knew nobody was going to tell me what to do, correct me, tell me. You know, it's like I was free to let everything happen out of me. And I will watch the children, and through watching the children, I will see them. I see the power of expression, the power of creation, passing through them without them having to think about it, plan it, without being worried. At the end of the class, they will leave their painting here. It's like there was no contest, no marks. And I really wanted that. So by watching them, their freedom, I started learning my own freedom because I didn't have it. Because before I thought I should paint for other people. I thought I should paint for the result. I should paint and become one of these artists, you know, that admire. I should find a way to be original. And in the meantime, my poor little being had no room to do anything. And I couldn't do what I needed to do. And then it was a very fascinating period for me because I just started painting so much I just couldn't stop. I mean, I will paint all day. And when I say all day, it was like 18 hours a day, 16. I could, and I realized I was behind. Like all this year I'd been waiting, and finally I could catch up. And it was such a wonderful thing to realize because I felt I almost missed it. You see, I felt I almost gave up. I almost not have found that passion. I mean, I was very lucky. And immediately I said, oh, I have to tell everybody about it. So let me show you some of my paintings, starting at the very beginning. What I want is to show you process. I want you to see how natural and simple it can be to discover one's creativity. How important it is to free oneself from the pressure of product. And how passion is born.